Welcome to the Blue Wolf channel. Hello, today I would like to talk to you about a book I finished recently. It is called Meta-Human: Unleashing Your Infinite Potential. It's by Deepak Chopra, MD. If you don't know who Deepak Chopra is, you might want to stop right here because there's no way you're going to understand this book unless you're familiar with the field. To describe the field itself, well, some people call it New Age, some people call it ancient. Basically, he's another in a long line of people talking about using your larger consciousness. Just give you some names that I'm sure you've heard of because they're big in popular culture. You had recently The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. About 100 years ago, you had Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In between here and there's been dozens of others that have been pretty successful. I'm kind of partial to Joseph Murphy. There's even T. Harv Eker is doing it on the financial side, but he's still talking about controlling your mind and how you're doing it. All of these books are talking about accessing your unconscious or your larger consciousness, things that aren't, you don't think about day to day, but you can control, and you have access. Like in Think and Grow Rich, there's the concept of the mastermind. In all of them, it's about focus. What you think about and what you put energy into is, what you're going to get. Deepak in this book is taking it the next step further. And basically, I'm not real. You're not real. Nothing is real. Everything boils down to a singular consciousness that is exploring itself in every way that you can. Now, if that made sense to you, you'll enjoy the book. If that sounded like gobbledygook and, you can barely handle Neo in the Matrix, well, this is the Matrix taken to its limits. Beyond its limits, actually. In Deepak's way of looking at things, there are no limits. So we have agreed to live in this virtual reality as part of the infinite, and we are going through what we go through because we're learning. It's the infinite learning about itself, and we're smaller units, our avatars, learning individual things, and we have the ability to control what we get into and what we get out of and what happens to us in this physical world because we have access to the actual world. That's what being meta-human is about, is being awake, being aware that you can do that. And I'm not talking awake as in political, I mean as in your consciousness is beyond this realm. So all of that actually makes sense. It's kind of hard to believe, but it makes a lot of sense, and he goes through it scientifically, and he uses examples from almost every religion you've ever heard of, including the big ones and some smaller ones that used to be big and aren't so much anymore. Everything from Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Astroarianism, even some pagan stuff, some Norse stuff. He's referencing stuff going way back in the similarities between all these different religions and the way they look at things. And a lot of the differences are just from a matter of perspective. It's whether you're looking at it from the right-hand side and seeing the right profile or the left-hand side seeing the left profile. But he goes way deep into it. It's very interesting, but again, if you don't know the name Deepak Chopra, chances are you're not ready for this book. If you do, you'll enjoy it. It was a New York Times bestseller. I found it very, very interesting, and he referenced a few of his books that I have not read yet, but because I'm aware of his work and all the people that are doing similar things, it made sense to me. So if you've read Think and Grow Rich, if you looked at religious teachings from a scientific point of view and a consciousness point of view, this builds on that very well. If you haven't done that, you might want to do that kind of exploring first. You go ahead and jump right in here, but it's a good chance you're either it's gonna click and it'll make total sense to you, or it's gonna be gobbledygook and it'll be a waste of your time. So I recommend having some background information in the field before getting into this book, but it was a good book, so you might want to try it straight up. Anyway, that's what my input is for Beta Human: Unleashing Your Infinite Potential by Deepak Chopra, MD. Thank you. If you like the content, please hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Thank you.